Hello, hello, hello. So simply realistic armors and weapons, 1K, about 820 megabytes. This is kind of a port and mash or combination of mods that's brought to us by Bracca Micro 79. Okay, could be Bricka. No, it's Bracca. It's Bracca Micro 79. Anyway, now this has been. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I may have missaid that. So this was ported by Bracca Micro 79. However, it looks like the mod was actually mashed together, put together by Questionable Khajiit. Now, let's do a quick rundown of what is in this mod, okay? So, this version has black, dragon bone, and dragon scale armors, and we'll see that. This is a 1K version. It only has meshes and textures. They've made a bunch of edits and adjustments. Now, I'm assuming this is the original mod author. Well, even this person's not the original mod author. We'll get into that. Questionable Khajiit, though. Nonetheless, you're going to see changes. This is a replacer. It's going to replace armor and shields for iron, steel, Nordic steel, studded, scaled horn, leather, hide, fur, banded, orcish. I did not. I probably created about 80 to 90% of this. There's guard, stormcloak, Daedric ebony, ebony mail, dwarven, draugr, elven wolf, glass, all this stuff. Okay, all this stuff that we see listed here. There's also some apprentice, mage, and thieves guild armors. Now, I did the thieves guild stuff. I did not do the mage stuff. Didn't really think about that. Didn't do the executioner. I did do the Thalmor robes. Like I said, I probably did 80 to 90% of it. All right, so I did all these, the weapons. I did a bunch of these weapons. I'm not going to say I did all of them. Again, 80 to 90% of them. I think the weapons really look better. There might be a few exceptions, but for the most part, I really liked the way the weapons looked. Of course, I like Nord Wars armors, so a lot of these armors are Nord Wars armors, Nord War UA. Now, not all of them, but a lot of them are. Okay, so overall, this mod is very promising. I like the fact that they squeezed all this into it, and it's got weapons and armor. Okay, so let's hop out. I've got Fred. I made a guy Fred just for us to be able to look at this, and got him ready to go. Let's just hop out and take a look at some of these things. All right, we're here on Fred, and this is just Ozadal's armor. Don't worry about that too much. We're going to go through some armors first. So let's just dump this stuff. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with banded armor, and we're going to show his shield here. Now that is the banded iron. Let's go down and throw on the iron boots and gauntlets, so to give him a little bit more of a total look. Yeah, let's do the boots and the gauntlets. And then you can, of course, do the helmet if you want. This is to give you a better idea of the banded look if you wanted to do something like that. Alright, so that's how we're starting out. Now we're going to go up again. Pardon me, this takes a moment, but these things, if we're going to do them, the blade stuff did not change. If we're going to do them, we have to take our time and do it right. Here is going to be what your Daedric would look like, and this is a different look. Okay, notice that he's got spurs on his heels. I'm not saying this is bad. This is going to be a subjective thing. You're either going to like it or not. I find it interesting. but I haven't decided if I really, really like it or not. Then we're going to go dragon plate, and again, we're going to look at all that. Now this is dragon plate. I think it's fine. It's fine. You're going to recognize a motif in all of this. You're going to see some similar things. And then this is the dragon scale. Again, it's fine. It makes it look like more just regular armor, though. I think it loses some of its specialness. The dwarven armor is pretty cool. And you'll notice some of it's pretty shiny. Looks pretty good. Now the ebony armor, this is, from what I remember, this is Nordwar's ebony armor. Wait, this may not be. You know what? I'm not going to say. Look, it's got spur on the heels. This might be a different version. Yeah, this is not Nordwar's, I don't think. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll quit speculating. I do like the look of it, though. The spurs on the heels are pretty funny, but yeah, it looks good. Looks very nice. Now the mail, the ebony mail, slightly different, not a ton different, but I like it. And it's dark. I mean, it's black. It's ebony, so that's very nice. Now the elven here, let's see. Is there any difference? There's really no difference in the elven and gilded. There just never is. We'll just let that go. Where's the shield? Where's the elven shield? Here we go. Alright. So this is the elven outfit. Very nice, right? And then there is a light version of the armor, which will be a little different. Not hugely, but you saw the pauldrons go away. Okay, so that's fine. Now the glass is definitely different. But you'll notice it's back into that style or motif that we're seeing with some of the other armors. They're very similar armors, they're just scaled, or what's the other? Is it ribbed? Is that the right way to say that? Anyway, probably not. But nonetheless, you get the idea. So they're trying to make things look a certain way. They're trying to have a certain theme and motif. I wasn't sure. They mentioned some of the Thieves Guild stuff, but I'm not seeing any difference in this outfit. So we're just going to move on. I thought we should at least check it out. Now the hide, definitely some difference here, even in the shield a little bit. But it fits their motif. They're going with, all these different armors, but all these armors have a certain theme and feel, and a lot of this comes from Nordwar, like I said. Now the Imperial harkens you back to, let's see if we can find the shield. Here we go. Back to Oblivion. With the way this looks, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar. And it has a very good look to it, if you ask me. And then the light version of the Imperial. It's nice. I like the little, dragon symbol in the middle of the shield. So I think this is a nice mod. So far from what I've seen, I can pretty much get along with this. So this is iron. Now the banded iron and this iron probably do not look hugely different, okay? But they never do, so not too worried about it. And this is the leather. Let's see. There is no such thing as a leather shield, so we'll just drop that. But anyway, this is what that looks like. Again, I think it's got a nice look to it. Now, I may have misunderstood. I did Nordic carved thinking that was the Nordic steel, and it's not. So let's just ignore that. That was my mistake. Sorry. Alright. So Orcish. Now this is Orcish, and it looks good. I'm not thrilled with any style that I've seen of orcish armor. Orcish armor. I'm not. I don't know why. I just haven't gotten into any of it very much. But this is a good style, and probably one of the better styles. Okay, so this is the scaled. We're just going to take that shield off. This is the scaled armor. Okay. Now, then we're going to look at the scaled horn armor. Now, this is totally different, right? And then the horn armor is really just, a little fancier. Got the little fur up top. I think that's fine. That's cool. Now, here we're going to get in. They actually did change Skyrim armor. They did not change all the other armors, but they did change the Skyrim armor. Now, let's see. This shield is a light shield. Is there a heavy shield for Skyrim? I don't see one. Anyway, still, nonetheless, it's nice. It's shiny. It's got a blue look. It kind of fits with the other armors. I like it. I like it. Now, let's look at the light. Not a huge difference. But again, there shouldn't be a huge difference, really. So, it looks good. Now, this is going to be steel. I'm going to go with it just like this for a moment. Do we have a steel shield? Wait, there's 2 steel armors. Why do I have 2 steel armors? I have 2 steel armors. I don't remember why. Nonetheless, we're going to look at both of those. Give me a moment. I thought there was a shield. Yeah, here we go. So here's a shield for steel. Looks pretty cool. And this is the basic. I'm going to call this the basic steel armor, okay? It's nice, and it's shiny. It's like, ooh, shiny. There is a second one. Boom. This version. Very nice, I think. Just my opinion. For what it's worth, just my opinion. Here is the helmet. If you wanted that, and I think that's cool in its own way. It's not the dark one that we're used to seeing, but, Now here's steel Imperial gauntlets. See, they have the Skyrim logo on them, basically. They have the dragon on them. Then there's the Nordic gauntlets, which do not have that. Okay, so we're going to get into something a little different here. We're going to hit this steel plate. Now this, at least the picture of it looks the same as in the game, except it is really shiny. It is really chromed up. Do you see that? I don't have a problem with that. I think that's kind of cool in its own way. It is really shiny and chromed up. Then you have these steel shin boots, which we didn't show you before. And I think they really go. Let's go back up here. I think those boots really go better with this armor. Let's see, do this. And I think these. Okay, I think that's really more of the Nordic look that they're going for. At least that's close, okay? With those boots. All right, let's move on past the steel stuff. Now, I'm going to show you the Stormcloak stuff. This is essentially how all your guards will look too. Now, and this is my only problem with this mod, is this helmet. It's a good helmet, but there's something about it that seems wrong, at least when I see it on the guards. Now, seeing it on this guy, it's not so bad. But like when I was in Whiterun and I saw that helmet on the guards, it looked off. I don't know. Anyway, your choice. That's the only thing that I look at in this mod so far that I'm like, well, I don't know, is this helmet. But it's not a bad helmet. I'm not sure it goes with the outfit. I think that's my problem. But that's just me, and it is subjective. So, for what that's worth. All right, now if we look at, let's see, let's get rid of that shield. If we look at the studded armor, looks fine. We could get rid of some of the other things. I don't know what goes good with studded armor. Maybe leather? Just do like a leather helmet and bracers and boots with it to kind of give it a decent look. That seems okay. So that was my thought anyway on studded. Now let's go down. Let's look at the Thalmor and look at the hooded robes. I'm not sure. Did they change this? I thought they said they changed this. I think they did. Okay, I see. I think they did. Look at the shoulders there. Okay, so I think they have changed it. And then without the hood. Still basically the same. Just no hood. Now the Thief Brown armor, I thought there were some changes to the Thieves armor. Yeah, they added some extra pouches and stuff. Okay. So to make it look, better. So they added some pouches and things of that nature. That's cool. I'm okay with that. But it appears it only affects the brown version, the regular version. Let's see if, it doesn't appear to affect the gray or the dark or black version. Okay, that's all right. Now we're down to our last armor, and this is the wolf armor. And look at that. I think that's a different style, and I kind of like it. It's pretty cool. Depends on what you like, but I think it's cool. Alright, so that's the last of our armors. Now we want to take a look at our weapons. The weapons I'm going to do a little differently. I think the real way to just look at these weapons is just to pull them up here and show them like this. I think they look really good. I don't think we get much value out of doing other things with them. The bows are all going to fit this kind of style from what I've seen. Daggers have changed, and they have a different style for each type, just like the swords, like this great sword. Looks really cool. Now, you're not going to see much difference. If I show it to you in first person, you know how it is. You really only end up seeing a little bit of the weapon. And I think this is a better way to look at this. Some of these maces, that one is like, Some of the others are very good. And this Daedric sword is kind of cool. It gives you an old musketeer style, maybe not musketeer, well, yeah, kind of a buccaneer or musketeer style hilt. Something different. And then here you have this. It's a nice war axe. Again, I probably only did about 80% of the weapons, But just to show you, forget Dawnbreaker. Just to show you what some of it looks like. I really like this. I think this looks really nice. That is your battle axe. Your bow. It makes more sense that it's not got all those protuberances all over it, all the little pointy things. A nice smooth bow makes way more sense. The dagger looks good. Everything, a lot of these things anyway, look very nice. They have their own little decoration, their own little style. That's good. Now remember, these are bone weapons. So, I like this sword. It's kind of crazy looking. It's kind of barbaric and crazy looking, but doesn't that make sense? I think it's good. Same with the war axe. I think a lot of these look nice. I'm not sold on this hammer, but it is nice. It's still nice. I'm just not sold on it. Okay, I like the Dwarven battle axe, you see? See that? That's cool. The Dwarven bow, a different style, but still nice and smooth. A little metallic looking. I think that's great. I think the dagger is the same. I can't tell. If you can tell a difference, that's fine. I can't tell the difference. The great sword, I'm not sure if that's different or not. I don't look at Dwarven enough. I'm not sure that the Dwarven is really changed a lot. Something about the hilt, I thought this was a little different, but it may not be. And that looks the same to me. There may be some differences. Now, this is different, because this is not really a hammer. This is just a big club or big mace with little points on it to beat somebody to death with. I really like the ebony battle axe. It really has a cool look, doesn't it? It makes you want to use it because it's got that nice battle axe look. The bow is nice. Even the daggers have their own style. The great sword, again, looks very good to me. The ebony mace is okay. The maces, some are better than others. When we get to some that I really like, I'll let you know. This sword is different. It has its own style. I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying it's different. Not bad. It's cool. Just got its own style. A little war axe here. Now their warhammer is just a big hammer. I mean, that's just really is just a big hammer. Now here we go to the elven battle axe. I'm not sure if these have changed a lot. Now the bow has changed. Definitely. The dagger is definitely different. Got its own style. The great sword here. The great sword is a little off the screen. I'm not exactly sure why. So let's equip that for a minute and see what he looks like. Okay, it looks okay though. Of course, the animations have not changed. These are just replacers. But see, that's a nice big weapon. That looks cool. That looks cool, man. Sorry. Anyway. So the elven mace is fine. You know, when I think of a mace, well, we'll get there and I'll show you. Now this sword, this is the one-handed sword, right? And again, the picture is off the screen. But if you look at it here, it looks fine. When he draws it, it looks fine. Let's go first person. That looks fine. So I don't have any problem with that. But you can't see it quite as good as I would like here. That's all. Now, the war axe looks the same to me. It might be that the texture is a little different. But it looks a lot like the usual. And same here. Now, oh, well, I didn't mean to equip it, but it doesn't matter. It might be shinier and nicer as far as in the texture. But the style of it looks very much the same. That's what I'm getting at. I guess the mesh of it looks very much the same. So now the glass battle axe to me looks the same. I'm just going to say that right off. The bow is different. I like the style of bow. Anybody would really have a bow with nice clean lines. I don't think you would have something weird. The dagger looks the same to me, so we're just going to move on. Now the great sword is different. See that? It's definitely changed, the whole hilt and everything. And it's got a high shininess or reflectiveness to it. The mace has not changed. It looks the same to me. The sword is different, again, like the gray sword. Not sure that I'm in love with the way these look. But in your hand, now here, look here. This looks good here. But in your inventory, it just didn't look that good. Somehow that doesn't, but it really looks good in your hand, which counts more. I like that reflectiveness and everything. It really looks good in your hand. Okay, so that's cool. So what does the great one look like on his back? Let's see. Well, it looks good, but it's in a scabbard that hides all that green. Okay, that's fine though. Alright, let's continue on. The war axe looks the same to me. The war hammer looks the same to me. I don't see any difference. Now, when you look at the Imperial stuff, I equipped it. Anyway, I like the bow. The bow looks nice. You're going to see a lot of these in the game. It might as well look good. The sword. I like the way they did the sword. This actually looks better. It looks more like a real sword. Just saying. Sorry, Bethesda, but y'all's sword kind of looks wrong somehow. Anyway, this looks kind of like a hatchet rather than an axe, but it's sufficient. They changed the dagger. Is it an improvement? I don't know, but it's different. It's fine. Here's the iron sword. It definitely looks like a rustic old sword, doesn't it? Now, this mace is a bit more of what I think a mace should look like. It's, not exactly. This is still not exactly, but this is better. This is like a baseball bat with spikes. I'm okay with that. So the sword again, this is the one-handed, but still similar to the other sword. Now, the Nordic bow has changed. Looks nice. The Nordic dagger, I thought this looked a little different, but it may not be. It's so hard to tell with some of these things. See, that may be exactly the same. I can't tell. I don't look at these things enough. This looks the same to me as the vanilla. And the sword looks basically the same. Now the orcish stuff, the battle axe looks different. And it has a cool style. And then their bow has a cool style with like bones at the end. Their dagger in this picture looks almost like their old sword. But this is what they're making the sword look like now. The sword looks nice. That's the great sword. This is the mace. Now, this is what a mace should look like, to my mind. When you say mace, this ball with all the spikes is what I think of. There is an actual real name for that of a certain variety. I can't remember if it's Morgan or if it's something to that, similar to that. But nonetheless, this is what I think of as that. This is the one-handed sword. Good style to that. And this is the smaller war axe. And the orcish hammer. And it looks good. It does look like a big hammer. Now, I like the Skyrim battle axe. I'm not sure that these Skyrim weapons have changed very much. These look very vanilla to me. Again, I don't look at them often enough, but these look the same. That's definitely looks the same to me. That looks the same. Maybe there's some minor differences, but I'm not seeing anything major, so I'm going to move on. The steel looks different to me. Looks better. I think, except for this dagger, I think they're major upgrades. The poor dagger looks, I don't know, it looks kind of splotchy on the blade, but maybe it's supposed to. Maybe that's the idea. The great sword looks good. See, here's the steel mace. That's what I think of. Yes. Raw. And the steel sword. And the steel sword, just a basic steel sword. It's still nice. It's better than the vanilla version. The little war axe is good. And then the hammer is just so shiny. Yes, we're going to kill you, but you're going to enjoy the look of our shiny hammer as it bashes your head, right? I know it's really stupid, but anyway. Alright, so that is everything that I made for this show, and that is probably all told around 80 or more % of what you're going to see with this replacer. Okay, it's very nice. I think all of it looked really good. I didn't have any trouble with any of these items, but now all I did was craft them and then show them to you here. So let's hop out and look at the mod again. Alright, so this has been Simply Realistic Armors and Weapons. About 820 megabytes. It's pretty big. But it's really nice. It replaces the armors. It replaces the weapons. If you like everything in here, then I would say you would enjoy this. There's only a couple of things, and I would have to see Like if I use this, there was the helmet on the guards that I'm just not crazy about, but it's not awful. And then the Daedric armor, I'm unsure of. I like it in a way, but I'm unsure of. So I'd have to try this for a little while, kind of get used to it and see. It mainly has a good theme to it that I like. I've seen that in some of the other Nord War stuff, so, and I like Nord War's armor's really good, so I think this is a good replacer. It's something you can look at and think about. It does a lot of weapons and a lot of armors, and a lot of them look pretty good and pretty realistic to me. So, alright. Okay, so thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. This has been an OwwThatSmarts production.